Hey there, I'm Alan Matthews from Classical Guitar Shed, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to use your ears to get better faster in your guitar practice. What are you listening to? What are you listening for? And how can you use your ears and what you hear to get better faster? We're going to dive deep into it. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe to this channel and come back and see more of them. All right, let's jump in. So first off, there's a difference between listening to something and listening for something. When we're listening to something, I'm just going to play a scale. It's like, yep, that's a scale. I'm doing it. And I'm just playing the scale, and I'm hearing that I'm playing the scale, and it sounds fine, right? On the other hand, when we listen for something, then we can get specific feedback that we can use to adjust what we're doing. So, for instance, I'm going to play this scale again, and this time let's listen to consistency and evenness of the volume. So is the volume the exact same for every note? Or do some notes pop out more than others or sink back into the background? And what you might find is if you start listening for this, you might need to slow down. Some of them are just slightly out of kilter with the other ones. And so doing that, then I can listen just for that, and now I have something specific to focus on in my practice. Another thing that we can listen for is cleanliness. Are there any little buzzes or any little string squeakings, or am I touching the string and making it do funny things? Is my right hand touching it just slightly before and making a zit sound? Putting in some noise now to just prove a point, but there are these little sounds, especially on the wound strings, on the lower strings, squeaks, all kind of things. So is it clean? This is especially in pieces with bar chords, different chords, then we can really quickly get some noise, get a bunch of dirtiness in there. So cleanliness is something that we can listen to. The next is tone quality. So we can listen to the tone quality. Is it bright? Or is it a big lush sound? And even more than that, is it consistent, or do some notes pop out? So is one fingernail sounding funny, and so that every time it hits it, it goes blank? So all these different issues of tone quality, we can really sink in and listen for that. Another thing we can listen for is rhythmic clarity. So not just is it in even time, so not just is it in a steady beat, but if playing a piece, is the rhythm of the piece are you demonstrating it so that it's really obvious? One example. That was rhythmically accurate, but it wasn't rhythmically compelling. So sometimes we want to offset just something, play something slightly late or slightly early in order to demonstrate the rhythm. And this is a little bit more advanced kind of phrasing and interpretation, but whatever's happening, are we doing that? So are we listening for rhythmic placement of each note? We can also listen to the ends of the notes, and this is such a funny phrase because what does that even mean? It simply means the way that one note connects to the next. So we have a note, and once we have the next note, that first note's going to end. And so the question is, how does it end? Does it seam up directly? Da, da. Or is there a gap? Da, da. Or is there a big gap? Da, da. So how is it connecting to the next note? And that gets into legato, smooth and connected, or separated, if we want it very precise. And putting it at a specific point in time, well then that's a great thing to listen for. And the last thing I'll mention here that we can listen for in our practice is the phrasing and the dynamics. What are dynamics? Volume swells and fades, louds and softs. all the notes that pop out, the notes that sink into the background, and so that we have that three-dimensional effect. We have the curves, and so then what are we doing with it? Are we making decisions in what it is that we're playing? So if we have a particular piece that we're playing, do we know exactly what it is that we're wanting to do with all of that? And is that happening really obvious, or is it just happening in our head? So this gets into active listening versus passive listening, everything that we've been talking about here. So then here's our question for ourselves, are we actively listening both to everything happening at the same time, but then also for all these different elements, and we can practice these different elements separately as well, and that's the best way to get them better. And are we reacting to that information that we're getting and bringing more clarity and beauty and smoothness to our playing? So this keeps practice more engaging, more exciting, more rewarding, and it makes us better musicians. All right, hope you've enjoyed this video, active listening in practice. If you have enjoyed this, please do subscribe and come back and watch another video sometime. And if I can do anything to help, then just shoot me an email anytime. All right, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.